How you doing, boys and girls? It's the morning after. Burnley 0, Manchester United 1. Now, in the grand scheme of things, in terms of history, you look at that scoreline and think, okay, respectable, only lost to Manchester United 1-0. If you were still in 2008, we know that's a missed opportunity. I know that, you know that, the players know that, everyone knows that. That was a massive missed opportunity for Burnley to face Manchester United at home, to go at them when they were playing barely even B team or C team players, right? Hannibal, Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans got his first start since 2015, and he was probably their best player. Incredible, really, when you think about it. And there is positives, right? And I always like to be balanced and be clear-headed. Even when we win, I like to be still balanced and, grounded in the grand scheme of things. And when we lose, I still want to also look on the bright side of it as well. And there has been improvements, especially in comparison to City and Villa and Spurs. In those games, the game plan was basically out the window by the 30th minute. The game was over, the way that I see it, in those first three games by the 30th minute. At least this game, it actually felt like a game until the second half. So it lasted 45 minutes this time. The second half for me was really, really poor. It was supremely poor. And the more I think back on it, the more I look back at it, the more annoyed I do get, as I feel like there was so much time to adapt and change the way that we were playing on things that simply wasn't working, that I felt like we were helping our own downfall at this stage in that second half, because it just went by us that second half completely, as they were more than happy to step back and to lower the pressure onto them, and they knew that we simply didn't have the quality to make it count. Okay, we had great chances. The first half was by far the best 45 minutes that we've seen this year. Of course, in an entire game of football, especially in the Premier League, you're not going to dominate for a full 90 minutes. You're going to have great moments in a game to make it count. And in that game yesterday, we had moments, didn't make it pay. A great save by Onana, by Amdouni for the header, cross-balling, great work on the right-hand side. Connor Roberts crosses in. Great save, hard and low. Amdouni, I thought was fantastic, and we're very unfortunate there. And yet again, of course, Cullen on the left-hand side drills it into Ramsey, who I thought had a fantastic game. Quick little two touches, out his feet, lays it off to Amdouni, who first time does everything that he should do. First time, hard and low in the corner, and it's just too close to the corner, and it comes off the post. Very unfortunate. But other than those two chances, I'm struggling to really think of much else, other than maybe a long-range effort by Ramsey later on in that first half. Second half-wise, I mean, until the subs came on with the likes of Brun Larson, who I thought looked really exciting. He surprised me a little bit. I didn't think that he had that in him, but he surprised me. Berger, I thought, was really good in terms of actually getting some more control in the midfield and moving the ball forward, asking more questions. And it was a shame to see the likes of Koleosho, who I thought had a great 10 minutes. I mean, he only had two chances to really take on Dalot, and the first time he had a chance, went by him with ease, got a yellow card, and then Trezor came on for Johan in the first 20 minutes, as I believe he got a knock, and then they swapped sides. Trezor went to the left wing when Koleosho went to the right, which I felt was a massive missed opportunity, as Koleosho already had the better of Dalot once in this first attempt and got a yellow card in the 13th minute. Keep going at him. And I don't think he's that kind of player to really go on and take on a man in the way that the likes of a Zeruri could or a Koleosho could. And I felt like that was something that was clearly obvious in the first 15 minutes when he came on. And Trezor, first off, I thought was really good. My first seeing of him, of course, still need to give him time. That's very important. And second half, he wasn't the best, but neither was really most of our players in terms of our attacking threat. It's a big shame, because you can see that we have improved since those first three games, but in this league, in the Premier League, even though you will get better game by game, so will everyone else. And I do want to give a really big positive, the positive thought process you could possibly give to this situation. Yes, we are bottom, but with 1 point in the first 5 games. However, if you have a piece of paper and you say, in the grand context of an entire season, you've lost to City, Villa, Spurs, United, and you drew away at Forest, that doesn't look as bad on paper when it comes to the grand scheme of an entire season. Our time will come that we will start playing more teams on our level. And the first time we have, or 2 times against Forest, we looked on par or better. Against Forest away, we all know that we were very unfortunate to not come away with a win. We really should have. Because really in that second half, Forest, that entire game, Forest really did nothing in that entire game. They didn't, right? And they had a wonder goal by Hudson-Odoi, made it count, and that's what that league does to you. And we really should have come away with 3 points. We should have, but we don't. And I like to think that in terms of VAR, what happens in one game that goes against you, I like to think karma, it all kind of equals out in the end, and we may get a fortunate decision in another game. And that's the way I like to think of it. I think that we are giving our justice at some stage. But, look, yes, we're bottom, but we've played against some great sides in the early part of our season. And look, we got another big game up next, Newcastle away, and then it's Luton away. Newcastle away, Luton away, Chelsea at home. I mean, Newcastle away, I mean, you never know. I got this weird feeling that away from home we're going to be really good. I don't know why. I just feel that it may happen. We may set up a bit more differently, a bit more conservative away from home and become a bit more structured in our attack. And I feel like that may suit us better. But maybe I'm just making stuff up and just being really, really optimistic. But that's the way I see it. We got another big game, right? But then Luton is around the corner. Of course, Salford in the cup. But at this stage, I want to beat Salford just because of a cup run is cool and all. But we really need to win in the league. So tell me your thoughts down below on the Turfcast channel. I just felt like giving my thoughts and putting it through. There's still positives. However, the season does start now or a month ago. It's fair to say that yes, we have played against tough teams. However, at some stage the season has to begin soon, and we're seeing benefits. We're seeing a young team still come together, seeing what our best lineup is, and I think that by November I hope that it works out and that we are where we should be, and hopefully around 14th 15th. And with it's similar to last year, right? Similar to last season, we started pretty slow. We couldn't really get fluid in our attack, and to break teams down was quite difficult. We all remember all those draws in the early part of the year. We got Stoke at home and Hull at home. Millwall, we had to get through them as well. And we had Blackpool at home and Luton at home. We had some, and Preston away. We had some frustrating games. But around late October, boom, Sunderland away happens, and that changed our entire season. Now I think there's a game coming up. If it's Chelsea at home, if it's Luton away, something will click, and we'll all look back and think that is when our season really began. And I'm hoping that's the case. So tell me your thoughts, and enjoy your day. Up the Clarets.